He's qualified. His vision for America is like ours. He deserves the effort to vote and recruit votes. He's counting on you and me. He's our champion, if you were. He is our only option. Obama, I've already stated the case against him so exhaustively, I would like nothing more than never have to do so again. If re-elected, we will be further burdened by his "let's make the federal government as big as possible" attitude. And he's going to be burdened by the most intense investigation of a president since Bill stuck a cigar where he shouldn't have with Monica. If you are someone naive, stupid, liberal, socialist, or government dependent, or intellectually blind, you just go ahead and vote for Obama and help him finish off America. This guy is a big fraud. Bill Clinton got it right the first time. I would be honest, I consider Barack Obama an enemy of America, and you guys put him in the White House. It is beyond my comprehension how 50+1 Americans in any state could decide, yeah, we need 4 more years of that guy. He wants America weak. He has succeeded in weakening her. For all those who care only not for what they can do for their country, but what their country can do for them, I ask this. If America is bankrupt and can no longer borrow the money to give you what you expect her to give you, what are you going to do? America has thrived because of capitalism and a strong economy and jobs and workers and business and entrepreneurship. Obama will continue his quest to destroy the golden goose and leave you nothing but goose crap. And when that happens, you will have no government with any money to save your ass. So God bless America, God bless Romney, God bless the American voter who goes to the polls today to save her and not destroy her. So that's my election day introduction. Commentary from Garrett.
Yes, my vote counts. Zim's vote counts in here.
That's right. We got 2
We're
Ohio
votes.
this
room.
Well,
Ohio votes.
Well, Jake, me, and Denise have taken some Ohio Buckeye addresses and names. We're going to go over and do the best we can.
We are.
There's some intimidation.
Just for the team. Just for the team.
We're working on it. Yeah.
You know, I also need to look up, probably before I leave the show today, other issues. The one I did hear that I'm going to vote down today is that city council issue.
Oh my God! Give them 4 more years. They do such a great job.
Yeah,
you want to keep them in there.
100% liberals now. They want to stay there now.
By the way, I heard Willie Smitherman debate with. You know, Smitherman's Mr. Fiscal. He's freaking all 100% in on Obama. How can a guy who claims fiscal responsibility be for Obama? I'll tell you. Sorry, Chris. Sorry, Chris. He's black.
Yeah. Right. I like Chris. I do.
I like Chris too, but you can't tell me somebody who's a fiscal hawk, but he's got to vote for Barack Obama.
I know. Black.
Denise, your comments.
Well,
if you have any.
I'm glad my boys lived out in Louisville because they're on the Kentucky side because I know they're voting. Both of them are voting Obama, so it kind of cancels mine and my exes out.
I just can't stand it, man.
You know, we could kind of do the same thing. I mean, which actor was it yesterday said they would clean a house or cook or do whatever?
Ferrell.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, would you go clean somebody's house for them to trade their vote?
I don't know. Abraham Lincoln is the quote for the day. Listen to this, folks. An individual who undertakes to live by borrowing soon finds his original means devoured by interest and next to no one left to borrow from. So must it be with a government. Ha! Bingo. In 1897 today, Peter Pan opened in New York at the Empire Theater. Peter Pan. I'll be honest with you, Peter Pan always kind of like troubled me.
He scare you?
Yeah, I think you little, the first metrosexual transvestite gay guy.
But it's the Pan Man. I love the one with Robin Williams. That
was great.
Hook.
It's kind of like Robin Hood, though. I mean, Robin Hood wore tights too, didn't he? At least in the play.
Was Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Men in Tights.
That was a different show.
Same thing.
In 1928, Colonel Jacob Schick patents us the first electric razor. 1962, Edward M. My head is 3 times the size it should be. Kennedy was first elected a senator in Massachusetts. Good old Edward. He loved social programs, didn't he? 1975, the first appearance of the Sex Pistols. Name a song the Sex Pistols did.
Pretty Vacant.
What?
Pretty Vacant.
Yeah.
Stepping Stones. Queen is Dead, I think, is one of them.
Who?
Or God Save the Queen.
Good job, Jake.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Well, they only have one album, so.
And
Okay.
Jake could be dead wrong. I probably would know like one of those songs. I don't know if I know the titles.
in 1984, President Lincoln won a landslide re-election over Mondale. Let's hope there's a... I don't care if it's by one freaking vote. Romney over Obama. 1990, Arsenio Hall got a star on Hollywood's Walk of Fame.
Fight for your beliefs.
You know, there's
Jake.
so many things. There's so many things about today that when you just kind of look at it, it's amazing to me. For example, okay, Romney, Obama. It's been all this time, I guess since August, since we've had the nominees, but you know, Romney's been campaigning forever, Obama's been campaigning forever. Put those two guys side by side. Look at their background, their service, their accomplishment versus not accomplishment, their stature, their demeanor, their integrity. I mean, Barack Obama is not a patch on Romney's genes. I mean, it's incredible. It is incredible. How did Barack Obama become president? Well, I know how he became president of the United States. Let's vote for that handsome-looking black guy that smiles. Let's get rid of our black guilt. Way to go, ladies.
No.
It's freaking ladies' fault.
You know what? It's not just ladies. Give us a break here, because there's plenty of college-age kids. Those, you know, I will say, I don't know. Jake's awfully quiet in here sometimes.
Birthdays today. Emma Stone, 24. She gets all Lindsay Lohan's jobs. Rebecca Ramajan. You know what? She doesn't do nothing for me. Ethan Hawke, 42. He doesn't do nothing for me. Maria Shriver, 57. Happy birthday, Maria. I want you back. I want you back, Maria, please. Sally Field is 66. I used to like her when she was Smokey and the Bandit. Ever since her Academy Award speech, though, she can kiss my fanny. She plays Mary Todd Lincoln in the upcoming Lincoln movie. Box of chocolates. Pat Tillman would have had his birthday today. James Naismith, the founder of basketball, and also the composer John Philip Sousa.
They just bought
who Hail to the Chief, I think, was his accomplishment.
The University of Kansas just bought the Naismith's original rules of basketball, which were handwritten, for like $2 million.
Yeah.
Some guy, some just super fan, they did an ESPN 30 for 30 on it. Some super fan went around to all the donors of Kansas to try to get him to throw in to buy the original rules at auction, and he got it done.
Wow.
You know, we
$2
missed a
million.
birthday on Sunday. Some special person.
No.
Matthew McConaughey's birthday. I just had to bring it up.
Still waiting on that poster.
He called me and asked me why I didn't wish him happy birthday. I told him I forgot.
Have you ever played the bongo drums with him naked?
No, but I would. You probably would too, though. Come on.
No, I would not.
No,
I like
why
Matthew.
would I
Denise,
play?
would you smoke pot with Matthew McConaughey?
That's kind of a loud question, isn't it?
Yes. I'll answer for her, yes.
Naked? Yes.
Naked.
I would play the
bongos.
bongos naked with Matthew McConaughey.
On the beach.
All right, if you buy that poster, he's going up there, so I have to stare at him all day.
Well, as long
All
as
right.
it's behind your back.
When we come back, ladies and gentlemen, the American Jerry, we are going to have more Radio Superbity, and we're going to root for the home team. Buckeye Nation, Bulldog Nation, unite. Throw out Obama on Class X Radio.
Back live.
Eric Deters, the Bulldog, on Class X Radio. How about a traffic report as we start this segment?
Well, we have an accident in Cleves, eastbound 74 at East Miami River Road, and also one at Findlay and Winchell. So watch for those. Other than that, no other problems.
All right, that's good. Sad to report we have some military deaths. Army Specialist Brett Kornowitz of Alden, New York. Army Specialist Ryan Jane, 22, of Campbell, New York. And Army Staff Sergeant Dane T. Vinny, 29, of Port Henry, New York. They were assigned to the 178th Engineer Battalion, 412 Theater Engineer Command, Oswego, New York. Died of wounds suffered November 3rd when enemy forces attacked their unit with an improvised explosive device in Paktia Province, Afghanistan. Wow. Today, mostly sunny, high of 52. Wednesday, showers. Thursday, sunny, high of 53. I'm going to tell you what's great about the forecast. What's great about the forecast is it's amenable to high vote turnout. High voter turnout is always bad for the incumbent. I know something about this, folks. All those voters in the suburbs and anywhere else, the weather's not going to keep them from voting. Older senior citizens, the best voters, they'll get out in good weather.
Didn't they already bus all of them in that they wanted to vote
Yeah, we'll
early?
see about that. Baltimore, Maryland have rolled out a new surveillance program that includes monitoring conversations of passengers on city buses. Can we jackwagon them up, please? Baltimore, home of Davy Johnson, home of Edgar Allan Poe. Joe Biden, he said at a rally that Romney's Jeep ad claims that President Clinton bankrupted Chrysler. Do you all want to re-elect a guy who obviously is out of his freaking mind? Good golly. Jay-Z, I want to tell you something about Jay-Z. He might be a rich music mogul, but my wife is hotter than Beyonce, and Jay-Z's music sucks. At an Obama rally, he said, I changed the lyric of this song. It goes like this. If you're having world problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but men ain't one. Jackwagon him up. Let me see here. We're going to give Oracle status to Colts coach Chuck Pagano for his speech that he gave in the locker room.
Did you watch that?
Yes. Made me uncomfortable, God love him. But he good man. The Sabrina actress, good for her. She tweeted for Romney Ryan. We like that. We like that a lot.
Alyssa Joan Hart.
Today is vote day. I kind of had a crush on her when I used to watch that with my kids.
She's hot.
How old is she?
I don't know, and I don't care. I know she's of age. Pop culture.
40s, maybe.
Carmen Electra said she's staying quiet about rumors that she's dating Simon Cowell. Or Cowell. I meant Cowell. Carmen Electra and Simon Cowell? That's weird.
She went to Turpin High School.
Did she?
From Cincinnati.
I'm sorry, I could never go any place where Dennis Rodman's been.
Yeah, I kind of question that.
It's just my standard, man. I couldn't go where Dennis Rodman's been. Chris Christie said that Obama gave the phone to Bruce Springsteen and allowed him to talk with the icon, and then he had a chance to meet and hug the singer at the NBC telethon. The governor said after a stressful week, the meeting made him weep once he got home. I'm going to tell you about Governor Christie. Nobody's brought this up. Nobody's asked this question. Has Romney talked to Christie since the big love fest with Obama? I'll bet not. I'll bet you old Romney is like, screw you, Christie.
I was just going to say, why would he? Why would he want to talk to her?
Hey, during Obama rally, Springsteen sang that first debate really freaked me out. Why, Bruce? Because your candidate sucks?
We've got the clip of Christie talking about Bruce Springsteen. You'll play it?
Well, if you would be a little quicker on the draw, yes,
We're
play
talking
it.
about Springsteen. So
Play it. Right.
Maybe you should skip the president altogether.
A Clueless reunion movie flops big at the box office. Vamp, starring Alicia Silverstone, grossed a whopping total of $500 from 12 showings of the film. What?
$500?
Wow.
She better be hanging that up.
Terry Bradshaw says he's not a racist, refuting claims that his comment about Reggie Bush was racist too. Bradshaw compared Bush's TD run to someone chasing a bucket of chicken. My God. Hey, I gotta say this. If you say the word chicken and a black person, are you a racist?
No.
I know.
Everybody thinks that.
I know. I mean, that's incredible.
It's just a stereotype that people associate with the dead. Terry Bradshaw says whatever pops into his head. You just got to.
You don't think?
You
don't think
racist?
Terry Bradshaw racist? Yeah, right.
How many black guys did he play with in his career and throw to in his career? It's like.
But don't you get paranoid that you're going to say something to offend? I mean, I was worried about differentiating between a black man and a white man. I was worried about it.
When you stop worrying about it, you're in good shape, but I've stopped worrying about it long ago. NBC's telethon for Sandy relief took in $23 million Friday. I'm sure they'll get the money in relief to them sometime next month. Miley Cyrus has been offered $1 million to star in an all-female explicit video.
Oh, do it.
No, she's got too much money to do it. And I still think she looks like she's 15.
Yeah, but you have to keep in mind how old Garrett is.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, we got some more pop culture, sports, local news, and of course the presidential election. We come back. Until then, this was on Bill's Prize Pray List, and we picked it. Rod Stewart, do you think I'm sexy?
I endorse this pick.
On Class X. Eric Deters, the Bulldog, on Class X Radio. Man, oh man, oh man.
Are you ready for today? The rest of the day? I know it's a little scary, I think.
Jake, we'll do that tomorrow. Can you hold that till tomorrow? Thank you, buddy. Yeah, go ahead and give me a traffic report there, Denise.
Well, that's not what was scary.
I was trying to buy some posters.
I know.
We might as well let everybody in on the secret.
And just to let you people know, they're trying to put a naked Matthew McConaughey poster.
No. I don't want a naked.
No. It's not a naked
just
Matthew
a shirtless
McConaughey.
one, and I would like
naked.
it.
You know what, Garrett? That's a good thought. Screw the Matthew McConaughey poster. Farrah Fawcett and Bill Clinton. The hell with Matthew McConaughey.
No. I revolt. No, you can't have female in here that I have to look
the
at.
Matthew McConaughey one I got was an 8x10. I'd say we could just shove it in the corner somewhere. The Farrah Fawcett is a 20x28, so.
Get 3 of those.
Okay.
Just get Denise a wallet size.
That's what I was trying to find, the smallest possible.
I'm just gonna have him.
Hey, you know what? That's a good idea. Let's get that small version.
Okay.
Speaking of hot men, Channing Tatum will reportedly be named People's Magazine's Sexiest Man Alive on November 14th. Barely beating out me is an undenied confirmed report.
An undenied confirmed, non-confirmed.
You got.
I still want my
Denise,
poster.
will you get the traffic report up on your computer so we can do the traffic?
I had it up. I can't help it that you didn't see it.
All right, give us a traffic report.
One freaking
Stop thinking about
Still
Matthew
had an accident.
McConaughey.
Well, I'm gonna buy my own life-size poster. You know, maybe he'll just come in here and sit with me. Westbound 74, just east of Miami, if I can find one. And eastbound on 74 at East Miami River Road. Also another accident at Findlay at Winchell. So a couple of problems there. The rest of the traffic not looking too bad. Schools are going to be out today. Traffic's just going to be a lighter day than normal. So everybody can get out and vote for Romney.
All you kids, get out there and vote.
That's right. Romney.
Go at all those options.
You know what? We should say Romney as many times as possible.
America's Got Talent. Shannon Doherty, Carly Simon, and Leanne Rhymes are reportedly being vetted. I hate that freaking word. Vetted to replace Sharon Osbourne on the NBC talent show.
It took 3 of them?
I don't know. Shannon Doherty is a B. Carly Simon is all right. I don't think that'd be very exciting. Kentucky voters are now voting, and Ohio voters are now voting. They've been voting for 6 minutes. We'd like to be the first to go ahead and call it. Ohio goes Romney!
Go Ohio. Oracle status for Ohio.
We are the first to report Romney wins Ohio.
Just keep saying Romney. Maybe
the exit polls for the first 6 minutes, it was overwhelming Romney. Election day freebies from Channel 9's John Matarese. White Castle, get a free order of sweet potato fries with any purchase by showing your I voted sticker. Romano's Macaroni Grill is offering $10 off any $20 carryout order. The Yoga Bar, located on Main Street in downtown, will offer free yoga classes if you show up with your I voted sticker. And if you come to my law office with a really good case, I'll thank you for voting.
What happens if they vote for Romney? Well, yeah, I guess you wouldn't know. So, what would you give them? What will you give them?
I won't give them anything but
Well,
just the gratitude of their country. Last night in the NFL, New Orleans beat Philadelphia 28-13.
The Eagles are horrible.
The NFC East is freaking horrible. It's the Giants and then the Cowboys and the Redskins and the Eagles. They all suck.
You know what I learned last night? It's not Michael Vick's fault. It's his offensive line is horrendous. The guy gets pressure within us. How you can have a guy that, you know, is your franchise quarterback that's a running mobile quarterback, and he has no time to throw the football. How you don't build an offensive line around him is beyond me. They're not protecting the guy. It's not his fault.
Right.
But Andy Reid will get fired at the end of the year.
He deserves to be fired now, just like Jason Garrett. And then the NBA, Miami beat the Suns 124-99. How about this? The Heat, the Knicks, and the Spurs have not lost yet. Will the Heat go undefeated and not lose a game? I think they could.
No, they.
Did you hear about?
Be close.
Did you hear about Todd Frazier? He won the Players' Choice Award for Outstanding National League Rookie.
Really?
Right.
Oh, good for him. He deserves it. You know, they give too much credit to the big name guys like Bryce Harper out of Washington, just solely because of his name. But if you look at the numbers, Todd Frazier had a much better year than Bryce Harper did.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sean Payton to the Cowboys. Jerry Jones says he knows of no talk with Sean Payton will replace Jason Garrett and doesn't even know if Payton will be available next season. I want to say this. I'm sure in light of this scandal, this, put a hit on somebody scandal, it does make Sean Payton, he's probably going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be weird, it's going to be odd and everything else. And it would not shock me that he might want to get out of New Orleans and to go back to Dallas where he knows things. I would be in heaven. Sean Payton, Mr. Onside Kick at the Super Bowl, Sean Payton.
That's a gutsy play right there. By the way, did you see the play last night? It almost worked. They ended up getting flagged for it being a forward pass.
No, I got a confession to make about last night.
You didn't watch a damn bit of the game, did you?
No. I watched the University of Kentucky dismantle Transylvania. One time it was like 17-17. Then the final score was like 78-20. I mean, it was an exhibition game, but I got a confession to make. I brag about living on naps and never getting any sleep. I went to bed last night at 10:30, and I was going to get up at 2:30, but I didn't. I slept till 10:45. The Bulldog, this is a rarity, got 6 hours sleep.
Wait a minute, you slept from when to when?
10:30 to 5:45.
Oh, okay.
4:45, I mean.
Because you did say 5.
I got 6 hours sleep.
When's the last time you done that?
A long time during the weekday.
He looks good, too.
I wanted to be well rested for election night. And we got some great input from Bulldog Nation. Bulldog Nation member Ryan, who happens to be white, wanted to say that he loves chicken too. And Jim from Verona says the Kennedy reference, dreams don't die. He says, but there's no guarantee for young ladies in my car. Ted Kennedy. You know, you got to admit, you know, it is pretty brazen, isn't it? And also, I guess you could even admire that he's that brazen. Ted Kennedy is in a freaking car with a drowning woman that isn't his wife, and he still gets reelected year after year after year, and even runs for president like Chappaquiddick never happened. That's unbelievable. At least I think it's unbelievable. There was an earthquake in Ringwood, New Jersey. 2.0 earthquake around 1:19 a.m. yesterday morning. No reports of damage or injuries were filed. Allegedly, Chris Christie, farted walking down the boardwalk, and the Richter scale was just, fired up. That's the rumor. That's the rumor. Don't you love that Doc Holliday says that? in the movie That's the Roma. We need to get Doc. How many times have I been asking Jake for Doc Holliday? Wyatt, you're an oak.
I've never heard you ask him for Doc.
I have asked.
I'm sticking up for Jake.
I have asked for these over and over again.
Jake, is this true?
Thanks, Garrett.
I don't know.
Go ahead. Why don't you skin that smoke wagon?
He's just thirsty.
Oh my
Jake,
God.
we're gonna
Okay,
need
no,
some
because
Doc Holliday
I would
quotes.
write it down.
My favorite movie to quote of all time, and I've actually written them down. I'll bring them in to you, Jake.
Okay.
I want to remind me. If somebody remind me, I want to tell you something. There's more great quotes from the movie Tombstone than any other movie of all time. It's non-stop quotes, baby.
Never seen the movie.
You've never seen the movie
seen
Tombstone?
Tombstone.
Oh my God. You're fired. One down.
And he's out of here.
Wait a minute. I'm going to fire you after the show. I need you the rest of the day.
All right, so
Okay.
He rehired you.
There's also apparently a New Jersey oil spill. Boy, everything's happened in New Jersey. And Spruce thing's flying around with Barack Obama. How come you're not helping out your Jersey? Show it, Bruce.
Obama can really fly around those oil spills like nobody else, you know.
Yeah. Navy's test fires robot boat missiles. Hi, this is a robot boat missile. It's a robot boat, carries it 36 feet long. Have you ever had a robot boat missile?
Sounds like some sort of weird
Sex thing.
Yeah, I gave it a robot boat missile last night, and it was awesome.
No, yelling on the boat! Like Chris Farley.
I think my sister
I
had
gave
a
it a
robot
robot
boat
Take
boat
my
missile.
robot boat missile and jam an oar up your ass.
Okay.
Those robot boat missiles.
And according to the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, in a study, women who revealed they drank the most soft drinks had 80% higher risk of ischemic stroke than women who drank fewer soft drinks.
You drink soda, Pop?
Rarely. Although I admit to drinking an IBC cream soda every night.
Oh man, working it every night?
Every night.
Cream soda. I work at Coke, so I love Diet Coke.
See, that's my thing.
I gotta limit it to like one a day.
Really?
But if I don't, I get a headache. Isn't that terrible? Like you eat a lot of caffeine. Do you ever get headaches if you don't take it?
Exactly.
Ugh.
You gotta have caffeine. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, this is one of my favorite rock songs of all time, which was also on Bill's Prize playlist, so we're doing our job. We're following the rules. Jefferson Airplane, Don't You Need Somebody to Love? We all do. This is the Bulldog on Class X Radio, delivering an election day radio superbity. I want to tell everybody that New Jersey is allowing everybody to vote by email, text, fax, stork, hand delivery, in person, carrier pigeon, you name it. New Jersey, thank God New Jersey and New York doesn't matter. And I gotta say this, if your home is gone, all of your personal possessions are gone, you are staying in a house without electricity and heat, and you are freezing, you don't give a damn about voting.
No.
It's that simple.
I can't even imagine.
Bulldog Nation member Tim reports that, now he's in Kentucky, but this is still the tri-state. He reports that voting in northern Kentucky, longest line he has ever seen. I'm telling you right now, it doesn't matter where people are, they want to kick Obama out of office. Hey, Barack, we're breaking up with you today. And by the way, I thought of this. And this is just the truth, folks. I was thinking about how Barack Obama, nobody really knows how he got into Occidental, and apparently his grades weren't really good, and he still got into Columbia, and we learned yesterday that he had a lot of incompletes, 2.6, but yet he still gets into Harvard, and then he goes back to Chicago, and he gets this job. Then he gets to the state Senate, then they get him to go to the U.S. Senate, and then he runs. It's almost like Barack Obama. Why has everybody just said, well, Barack Obama, it doesn't matter what the hell, if he's smart, if he's done anything, we're going to help Barack Obama. And that's what he's done his whole freaking life, is just kind of like had a special treatment to him. He is. I'm going to go ahead and call it. I'm going to call it. You know what he is? He's not our first black president. He's our first affirmative action president. It's like, well, we got to make up for the fact we haven't had a black president. Barack's our guy. We got to vote for Barack. We got to let Barack be our president because we have to have a black president because we just need to do it, even though he's a nitwit. And it's not a black issue. Give me a, you know what, Colin Powell before, I can't stand the guy anymore. I would have taken Colin Powell as president. There's all kinds of black presidents I would have taken.
Yeah.
Race is so, in my humble opinion, now don't get me wrong, there are some pockets of racism in the world, in the South, in Kentucky, I guarantee you, okay? I'm not racist, and most people I know aren't racist. We don't care about skin color anymore. You know what, skin color is we're so far freaking past that. You know what, hanging out with people, man, it's about the content of their character, not the color of their skin, baby.
Absolutely.
I know I got
so
black friends, white friends, and I got people I can't stand who are black, can't stand that are white. You call them the way you see them. Race is not an issue in this country. To the
And
extent,
it should not be for president.
But we did this for,
I'm an equal opportunity basher. Like
Me too.
A white person, just as much I could bash a black person.
Hey, get this, a Russian attack sub located 200 miles off the East Coast, apparently reporting on U.S. nuclear attack subs, was given safe harbor during last week's storm in a Jacksonville port. Isn't that special? I'd say, hey, Russian sub, see you later, dudes. How about it? 240, New York Post reports, 240 military members are being booted from the Lexington Armory in Manhattan to make room for tomorrow's Victoria's Secret fashion show. The troops will be bunking 10 to a room in local hotels and other armories. You know what they should have done? Let them bunk with the supermodels.
No, really.
Everybody wins.
Yep.
Morale goes up.
I was going to say, don't they deserve it?
Do you see how skinny those models are?
It's not attractive.
It's not attractive.
At a certain point,
I hate to say this. They don't do nothing for me, man.
The chicks on TV, they're not that. I mean, they're skinny, but
Give me
they're
some curves.
very well. They've got some.
Rudy
cleavage.
Rudy Giuliani, according to Politico, the former New York City mayor, said the response since the time the president got all his praise and credit in press ops has been abysmal. FEMA is much a failure now as the time of Katrina. Amen, Rudy Giuliani. Oh, because Barack Obama shows up one day, takes a picture, hugs Chris Christie, gives him a big wet kiss. Oh, he did a great job. Chris Christie. I hope people turn against Chris Christie.
Big old fatty.
Big old fatty. Black Panthers. The new Black Panther Party might be back in headlines today as some members might monitor polling locations in the U.S. Black Panthers can kiss my freaking fanny too. All right. New Yorkers. Governor Andrew Cuomo signed an executive order yesterday allowing New Yorkers affected by a hurricane to vote at any polling location. You got to show up with an ID? Something? God, he sounds like his dad. Canada, you can vote in Canada, Russia, neighboring state, affidavit, email, text, carrier pigeon, stork.
Text in your vote.
Yeah.
When will it get to that?
Soon.
I was just going to say you
Soon.
can email them now. I mean, you can
Facebook, your
vote. So
friends.
how can you prove
Yeah, you can vote by
anything?
Facebook. I tell you, let's give Oracle status to Zimmerman. Wiz is over there in the corner coming up with some good ideas that I'm repeating on the radio, and I want to give him credit for them. It's about time he contributes, man. It's about time he contributes. How about a traffic report, Denise?
Well, you know what? It's election day, so a lot of schools are going to be closed. Right now, just dealing with a couple accidents. Still working on cleaning up the one eastbound 74 at East Miami River Road. A new accident at Grace and McMicken. So watch for that. Other than that, I mean, I was just rolling through these cameras. Maybe a little slow 71, 75 over in northern Kentucky heading inbound. But other than that, really not seeing much of a problem. There's like a stripe of red on here, but the cameras I look at, I don't see any problems. So I don't know what it is. Just a little slow there.
Thank you, Blondie. You know what we got to do, folks? We got to come up with a list of all the words that she uses in her traffic report and then we got to ask her to do a traffic report without using these certain words. Wouldn't that be fun? And I'm calling on Bulldog Nation to send me texts this morning, 859-250-2527, or an emails at eric@ericdeters.com with your favorite Tombstone quotes. Chuck just sent me this one, and I will relay them on to the audience. It is appropriate. It is appropriate on the day that we kick Barack Obama out of office that we're quoting Tombstone, the greatest movie ever made. Why, Johnny Ringo, you look like somebody just walked over your grave. Ah, wasn't that great when Doc says that to Ringo? I love when Doc Holliday finally says, I'm sick of Ringo's mouth. It's time to take him out.
It's a great movie.
And he makes Ringo sweat and shake because he knows he's going down. I'm telling you right now, Val Kilmer belongs in, he needs a, I can't believe he should have got an Academy Award for that role. Even lost weight for it. I don't know. I like Tombstone. Maybe I get a little carried away. I don't know. Afghanistan shooting update. Accused of killing 16 Afghan citizens. Robert Bales, remember that jack wagon that killed all those guys? Came back to his unit, and they drew their guns on him. He had blood all over him. He was wearing a cape, and he apparently turned to another soldier and said, Mac, if you rat me out. And they said, oh, yeah? See, good for them it was. All right, ladies and gentlemen, American Journey, when we come back, we're going to have more Radio Superbity. And guess what? We're going to use a Bruce Springsteen song against Barack Obama because after tonight, Obama's out in the street. He's out in the street on Class X Radio. This is the Bulldog Eric Deters on Class X Radio. Let's have a traffic report, please.
Well, there's an accident race in McMicken. That is it right now as far as heading out on the roadways. You know, like I said, school's out today. Not going to see a whole lot of traffic.
Well, you know what? I hope there's traffic of humankind and voter lines all across. What reports are you getting? I'm getting reports, by the way. The Bulldog Nation foreman, Kevin, voted. So we want to give it up to him. The reports that I'm getting is heavy traffic and the humankind at voter lines. And I'm going to tell you something. I know a little bit about politics. Huge crowds on a good day, huge turnout is bad for the incumbent president. I'm telling you, it's so. People who vote with enthusiasm are people who are angry and pumped up, and they're going to the polls in large numbers. That's not Barack Obama. That is anti-Obama voters.
Let me ask you something, dog. If will Ohio determine it?
Oh yeah.
If Romney wins Ohio, will he win?
Yes, there's no question if he wins Ohio, he wins. The only issue, which would be a wild card, is if he loses Ohio and wins Pennsylvania to substitute for Ohio and still pulls it off. But I'm going to tell you right now, it's a lot easier if he just wins Ohio. And I'll be honest with you, I think he's going to win Pennsylvania. If that is tied, like the Pittsburgh Tribune said, and Romney went up there with 30,000, and he did a big television buy throughout the state, and he's going to Pittsburgh again today, and you look at the coal jobs in western Pennsylvania and the energy job, I'm telling you right now, he could pull off Pennsylvania and Ohio. It's definitely over. It's exciting.
I know. I'm getting nervous.
I don't know. I don't know how exciting
you know what?
it is.
You know what?
I'm
You know
more
what?
nervous than
I
excited.
am. I'm kind of. I'm like you. I'm pumped up because I think Romney's gonna win, but at the same time, I think to myself, my God, what if he doesn't win? People don't grasp this, and I'm sorry, but this is just the facts. Obama is going to be under an incredible investigation, at least as to Libya and Benghazi, and it's not going to be pretty. There might even be impeachment stuff going on here. Meanwhile, who thinks that this guy, after just bashing the Democrats, how do they think that all of a sudden the Republicans and the Democrats are going to work out a deal with this guy? It's not going to happen. All right, price gouging. New York attorneys generals investigating incidents of price gouging before and after Hurricane Sandy, including the sale of a box of matches for $10 and a loaf of bread for $7.
That's ridiculous.
Supply and demand. 49-year-old Alonzo Monzo of Staten Island wore a Red Cross jacket and claimed to be offering help to hurricane victims, but was carrying 6 methadone pills. He was charged with criminal impersonation and criminal possession. See you later. See you later. Oh, this is funny. Yesterday, you know what? Willie was promoting. Say Wells. Wells. Oh my God! I was texting him. I said, "You SOB." I said, "Sexual tension, my butt, more like revulsion."
Oh, she has to hate you, and I love it. Wells is a moron.
Let me tell you something about Wells. She got real skinny and all that. Took care of herself there for a while. You seen her lately?
No, did she get big?
Oh, not good.
Really?
Yeah, good.
Oh.
I don't know what she looks like.
Snap a cell phone pic of her next time you're in court and show me, will you?
All right.
I'd be interested to see that.
Before we,
she's not attractive. Everybody at WLW is like, if there's any sort of woman at that place, she's automatically, you know, her level of hotness goes up because there's so few women than men there.
Right. I tell you, is she hot? The one that Tracy and Eddie has on from the FM rock station. What's her name?
Oh, Joey. Oh, Joey.
Joey. She sounds hot.
She's not bad. She sounds like she smokes a lot, doesn't she?
Yeah.
My friends all say it sounds like she smokes.
Well, you know, according to Greater Cincinnati,
she's not bad.
On Greater Cincinnati magazine, they did a poll of the hottest women on radio in the tri-state, and Denise Johnson won.
Oh, really? Was this new? I did win years ago on television.
Greater Cincinnati magazine, baby, you won first prize.
Is it the same radio station we won best?
I got to tell everybody this story because this is one of my favorite unknown history stories that you've never heard before, and it is just too good to not share with you today. Because we're dealing with politics, and this is kind of political. Daniel Edgar Sickles had gained national attention when in 1859 he shot and killed in the very shadow of the White House on Lafayette Square his young wife's lover, Francis Barton Key, the son of Francis Scott Key, the author of the Star-Spangled Banner. How do you like that, folks? Daniel Edgar Sickles, who was a Civil War hero general, lost his leg at Gettysburg, donated his destroyed leg at the Smithsonian, which is still there. He'd go visit it once a year. His young wife was fooling around with Francis Scott Key, who wrote the Star-Spangled Banner's son, and he shot and killed him in broad daylight. During the ensuing trial, in which he was represented by Edward Stanton, who would become Lincoln's Secretary of War, for the first time in U.S. jurisprudence, pleaded self-defense of one's wife as his own property and was acquitted.
How'd he lose his leg in battle?
Yeah, he got shot cannonball, baby.
This guy's a war.
There goes the leg.
What a slut of a wife.
Yes.
I mean,
after his recovery, during which he donated an amputated right leg to the Army Medical Museum in Washington, I apologize, it wasn't the Smithsonian, where it continues on display at the Walter Reed Army Medical Center. You can go visit his leg. But he shot her in broad daylight.
How would they preserve it? How would they?
No. All the bone. Here's what it is. All of the tissue's gone, but the bone is still there, and it shows the fracture in the bone. It's just the skeletons left.
There is some culture in some overseas third world where they actually dig up bodies well after they die, and they're still preserved, and they reclothe them because they think that they need that, like, it's something about the afterlife.
No.
And they think,
That's just work. That's just work.
It's weird stuff.
Have we done a traffic report this segment?
Exhumation, who are they about to exhume? I just saw it yesterday. I got to look it up. It's some leader of this. Soviets died like 8 years ago. They think it might be poisoning now. Not the Soviets, but hold on.
You're gonna have to look that one up.
Boris Yeltsin?
No.
Go ahead.
Well, traffic-wise, right now, still dealing with the one accident, race at McMicken, and then if you're heading in northbound 71, 75, heading in from Buttermilk on down to the bridge, that traffic is slow there, and also on 471 heading inbound just a little bit, mostly just from right around Memorial Parkway into downtown. A little bit right around 275 over around Kellogg and 5 Mile. It's showing a little slow there as well. No other problems though.
Yasser Arafat.
There you go.
Yeah.
They're exhuming his body.
To test him for poison.
You know, I like when Holiday shows up. Doc Holliday shows up with Ringo Starr. This is coming in from Bulldog Nation member Ryan. My fight ain't with you, Holliday. And Doc Holliday goes, well, I beg to differ. We started a game we never finished.
You have the movie,
Jake,
Oliver.
I love it,
baby. Just go
baby.
get the movie. And
I'm telling you right now.
Clips.
Well, I got to make sure you get all the right one. This is so funny. Ike Clanton, who's a big drunk blowhard, you know, he's playing poker with Holiday and he gets mad. And Val Kilmer says, maybe poker's not your game, Ike. I know, let's have a spelling contest. Let's have a spelling contest.
Just laughing at his laugh.
And then when Ringo does his little gun twirl, and then Val Kilmer takes this little whiskey cup and twirls it all around. Oh, it's so good. You gotta see this movie, man.
I'll download it. I'm gonna watch a movie tonight. I'm gonna not watch election results until later.
Bulldog Nation report. Brad, voting update in Westchester, Endeavor Elementary School. 1 hour wait, 200 and 300 people in line. How many of those people are for, do you think, are for Barack Obama? 2? Rolling, baby.
Tell him take some pictures and send them in.
By the way, the WKRC poll was like 70%. 11,000 people voted in a WKRC poll. It was like 70% or 65% Romney, 35% Obama. That's a good sign for a Hamilton County poll.
Yeah, it is.
It is. I mean, that's a good Hamilton County poll. And if he wins, if Romney wins Hamilton County 65-35, he's going to win Ohio.
My cousin from Los Angeles, this is how big Hamilton County is, from Los Angeles the other day. The guy's never lived in Cincinnati his life, just obviously knows I'm from here, and sends me a text like something like, you liberal hippies in Hamilton County going to vote for Romney on, because they're big Republicans. And I said, yeah, we are. You know, obviously he's in the blue state, being out in California. But even out there, he knew how big Hamilton County was, knowing it was in, you know, Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Cincinnati's in Hamilton County.
And by the way, one of my drops, which I have, which Jake and Garrett have lost, which we're going to get back tomorrow, I promise, is I'm your Huckleberry. That's the classic line in the whole freaking movie. I'm your Huckleberry. Hey, by the way, when I'm having a peeing contest with another lawyer sometimes, I'll put that in a letter. I love putting that in a letter. I'm your Huckleberry.
You put it in a letter.
I'm somebody who thinks that there ought to be dueling allowed. When your honor is stained. You know, two willing people want to shoot at each other. Why shouldn't they be
jousting? You should joust.
Ladies and gentlemen, we come back, more Radio Superbity, and it's going to be politics from here on out of the show. And this is George Harrison, this song on Class X Radio. This is the Bulldog on Class X Radio. Okay. Having a good time, that's all I can tell you. I'm having a good time. All right, Blondie, do we have a traffic report before I get rolling again?
Still dealing with just a couple of accidents. Race at McMicken and then Bishop Street at Jefferson. That's a new accident. And also Marburg at Montgomery. So a couple of problems. And traffic is slow out on 71, 75 heading northbound around Buttermilk, southbound 71. Kind of off and on your brakes there from right around Pfeiffer on down to the Kenwood Cut. 75 a little slow as well. And the rest of the Tri-State, just your typical spots. But I expect that to be a little bit lighter through the day with a lot of schools being closed.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, we should all be outraged that we learned CBS and 60 Minutes, a program that I watch every week. They have some good stuff on it. I do. I watch it every week. That they had an interview with Barack Obama on September 12th, which would refute his claim that he considered this a terrorist attack at Benghazi right away. You know, pretty incredible. Let's sit on that, you know. Where are they going to do today? Well, guess what? This is reflective of the work ethic of these two people. Barack Obama is going to be in Illinois, where he slept last night. He's going to play basketball and hang out and vote and just chill. Romney, he's going to Cleveland and Pittsburgh today. to make a final push for victory, which is smart. And I want to say that if I was running for president and I was where Romney was in a close election, I would never forgive myself if I did not campaign all the way up till the very, very, very end and lose by a few votes. And I want to tell you something. His going to Pittsburgh also hits the Ohio media market, and going to Cleveland is smart, and he's going to also be on Willie today, which helps hitting the southeast part of Ohio.
Romney's on Willie?
Yeah. So I'm just telling you, Romney is campaigning full speed ahead relative to Pennsylvania and Ohio, and I think it's smart. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, according to the Huffington Post, the New Jersey governor, Jack Wagon, Governor Chris Christie, rejected an invitation from Mitt Romney to appear at the Pennsylvania rally Sunday night. The rally was held 20 minutes away from the New Jersey capital of Trenton in Morrisville, Pennsylvania. You know, you would think to kind of try to help his buddy out, you know, and in light of everything, to say, hey, I'm still for this guy. He could have went over to that rally for a little bit. And he goes, oh, no, I'm needed here in New Jersey. I'll tell you right now, I really, really wonder what Romney thinks of old Chris Christie, his buddy now.
Yeah.
And let's face it. Let's call it the way it is. Chris Christie's a big, fat bully.
Just wonder, though, if
The way he talks to everybody, the way, I mean, he's an ass.
I might have said it the other day. He reminds me of Rex Ryan. Maybe it's just physical appearance, but his mouth, too. It's like he's just that...
Yes.
I don't know. It just rubs me the wrong way.
And,
I don't like people like that.
And I want to tell you something right now. Although I like some things about him, you know, some of his positions are terrible. He's a pro-choice guy. He's an anti-gun guy. I mean, he's no conservative. He's just a fiscal conservative. Dana Perino said watching Obama rallies with Springsteen and Jay-Z is like this. This is Dana Perino from The 5 on Fox News. Bruce Springsteen I admire. He's a working man's man. He's misguided here because, you know, Bruce is not going to be for a rich Republican kind of guy because he's a blue-collar working guy. But it's very misplaced with Barack Obama. He would be Bruce Springsteen supporting Clinton would be something I could understand. I could understand that much better. Let me see, what else do we have? Obama campaign says to stay calm over early voting in favor of Romney. Stephanie Cutter said, my warning, we need to stay calm for much of the day. We've already banked a pretty big portion of our vote. Yeah, right. You watch the vote churn out here and run your guy off the stage. By the way, 26 states are now voting. 26 states are now voting. Let's hope they're voting the right way. Peggy Noonan, Wall Street Journal blog. His rallies look like rallies, not enactments as to Romney. In some new way, he's caught his stride. He looks happy and grateful. His closing speech has been positive, future-looking, patriotic. His closing ads are sharp. The one about what's going on at the rallies is moving. I'm telling you right now, he's right. Win or lose, Romney has closed right. Positive, huge crowds. And speaking of huge crowds, when we come back from the break here, I'm going to share with you a story about Barack Obama's quote-unquote last campaign rally, which I think you will find interesting. John Boehner, polls don't decide who wins, voters do, and the American people vote with their wallet. That's why I think, and I've always thought, that Mitt Romney will win this election. And I hope he's right.
Do you think it's possible he wins the popular vote and not?
Nah, he's going to win both. Romney said, I won't waste any time complaining about my predecessor. Amen. When I'm elected, I'm going to work with Republicans and Democrats in Congress and get the job done. You know what?
He's been consistent all along.
Yeah.
As an employer, when something goes wrong, there is nothing you hate more than freaking excuses and blame game. What happened, and let's solve the problem. To have the President of the United States and all of his supporters 4 years later blaming Bush, when guess what? It was the Democratic Congress and Bush. Both of them.
What's done is done.
Just think if Ronald Reagan said, well, I'm doing the best I can, but Jimmy Carter gave me a bad economy to deal with, and this is about the best I can do. I'm sorry, I'd like 4 more years because I like to just keep trying. I mean, come on! Are you kidding me? All right, ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, we got some Skinnerd for you, and we come back. More politics Romney on Class X Radio. There are 11 Senate races considered toss-ups. Combined Democratic candidates outraised their opponents by $45 million. You know something sick? All the senators that are up for re-election are expected to win re-election. The open seats are kind of up for grabs. Isn't that amazing? Power of the incumbency. The House is likely, the House is going to remain in Republican hands at least. Thank goodness for that. Can you imagine what would have happened the last 2 years if the Republicans did not take the House in 2010? It's terrible. Wall Street Journal, the mistake that is the Libertarian Party. Voting the Libertarian Party line could swing the election to Democrats. That's not an outcome Libertarians should vote for. I'm sorry. I agree. Until the party is a legitimate party with an opportunity to freaking win, it's a wasted vote. It's a dangerous vote. You're not going to tell me that the people in Ohio voting for Gary Johnson would prefer Obama over Romney? No way. No way at all. Sandy and the failures of blue statism. Wall Street Journal opinion by William McKern. Judging from their numerous appearances on our TV screens, Bloomberg and Obama have come through Hurricane Sandy just fine. The same cannot be said for their brand of governing. Of all the vulnerabilities exposed by the storm, the biggest hit may be seen the blue state liberals. Did you remember that study months ago where it showed that states that had Republican governors had closed their budgets and the economy was much better, i.e. Kasich in Ohio? In other words, Republican governors and states proved their mettle, so to speak. Know what the heck they're doing. That's the way I see it. Liberal exceptionalism. Wall Street Journal poll or opinion, Brett Stevens. It isn't true that liberals don't believe in American exceptionalism. When it comes to the national balance sheet, they think the U.S. levitates fiscally. And when it comes to the presidency, they think Barack Obama walks on water. I gotta just say this about this again. You are not voting on the weight of the evidence at all. It is purely ideology, socialism, greenism, blindness, unionism, if you're voting for Barack Obama. That's all he's got. No rational human being, based on the evidence, would vote to re-elect this guy. It's insanity. It's absolute insanity. We want you to go out there and vote, 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 vote. When we come back from this break, we're going to cover some more presidential politics. It's all that matters today, folks, is voting. You know it? And we're going to play some clips, too. We got a great clip from Ronald Reagan. We got a Homer Simpson clip. We got all kinds of fun stuff for you.
Homer on voting.
Homer! It'll be interesting to see what Homer has to say on voting.
Well, as long as
and we're one man down. Mike Zimmerman went to do a video deposition.
So everybody gets out and votes. Just make sure you do that this morning. There is an accident that just popped up I wanted to mention. That's Bridgetown at Ebenezer. So that has injuries that could cause a little bit of a problem for you getting around in that area. Also Galbraith at Congresswood. So
Congresswood.
Congresswood, yes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the American jury. We'll donate this to Randy Freaking and Joe Deters, who are big Dave Mason fans. We just disagree. Yes, we do. Not with them. I'm sure they're going to be voting for. No, Freaking will vote for Obama on Class X Radio. Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio. I want to give Oracle status to my casino worker clients. They were brave and went down to the Campbell County Courthouse with me yesterday and did interviews explaining their situation. You know, one of the funny things is, I'm almost like defensive about it, is naive is not something that I am. There was somebody there from the other side taking notes and listening, and I felt like saying, hey, I just want you to know, Jack Wagon, I know who you are, and I know what you're doing here, and guess what? I don't care. Take really good notes of what I'm saying. It was funny. Got a traffic report there, Denise.
I do. There's we just talked about a couple of accidents that came in. There's an accident with injuries, Bridgetown at Ebenezer, and also Galbraith at Congresswood. So a couple of problems there. Kind of just looking around the tri-state at the different cameras, and traffic is a lot lighter than on a normal day. So if you're heading in northbound 71, 75, still seeing that traffic's pretty normal. Oh, it's always kind of slow. Sun's in your eyes. I guess that's a good thing. Better than rain. Northbound 71, 75 from Buttermilk to the bridge. Also jumping over onto the Ohio side on 71. And most of that traffic is really just slow right around Pfeiffer. So if you're heading in that southbound direction, Pfeiffer on down to the Kenwood Cut. Other than that, just a few slow spots right around the 74 merge and around the Norwood Lateral and southbound around the Reagan merge.
All right, thank you, Blondie. If you got a report from the polls, text me at 859-250-2527 or email me at eric@ericdeters.com. And we forgot to promote the radio station yesterday, and I want to do it right now. You can listen to Class X Radio all day long, 24 hours a day. If you love classic rock, 88.9 and 89.1 FM. Just so you know, 89.1 FM is the stronger signal in northern Kentucky, 88.9 in Cincinnati, and also 88.9 in northern Kentucky and Covington is the best signal, I have found out. But I want to tell you also, you can listen to Class X Radio on an app, also live tune-in radio, and also live on ClassXRadio.com. And we are the only radio show in the tri-state that has a live video simulcast as well as a video podcast. You can also check that out every day on ClassXRadio.com, thebulldogsnation.com, and also we put it up on my Facebook page. So how do you like that? No show does it. I got the best produced program show there is. Also, Class X Radio all day long, and I am the only talk rock guy going on right now, I believe, at the station. And we also want to thank people calling in. Aurora, the Godfather, says voting is heavy in Aurora, which is important. We got to get that Senate candidate in there. Jim Shore from Bulldog Nation and Class X Radio sent in proof that he has voted. Let's give Jim Shore Oracle status for all his hard work on Class X Radio.
Boy, Jim.
Oh
no!
Way to go! Way to go!
That was the wrong one.
That's a,
Well, who did he
There
vote
you
for?
go.
Romney. Hey, Jim and everybody out there in Bulldog Nation Radio, I just want you to know that I'm going to pay for Garrett to go to the Carnegie classes of how to win friends and influence people. It's by giving them Oracle status, not jackwagon status. It happens. It happens.
Sometimes you
we're going to
just
send
hit
you to
the wrong
remedial
buttons.
producer
The
class.
buttons are
I want to just say this about Obamacare, folks. You know, Obamacare is coming down the tracks, and, you know, it is incredible. I mean, just the fraud. I mean, everybody knows that I'm kind of like straight up kind of guy. Good, bad, or ugly, sinner, saint, whatever. And I can't fathom how people and politicians with a straight face do some of the things they do. Like pass Obamacare without reading it. And then basically make it its full enactment come after this election. I mean, it's so wrong. It is just so wrong. Speaking of fraud, I met with a client last night that this guy is 82 years old. And by the way, they want me to publicize this, and I'm going to next week in more detail. 82 years old, a pillar of the community of which he's from. And this couple just plain, flat out conned and defrauded him. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, man, what kind of people have no conscience in defrauding an 82-year-old guy?
There's a lot of people that try to do that. What did they? I
Crazy.
guess you can't really talk about what they did, huh?
Oh, yeah, I can. I'm going to wait till next week.
I see.
All right, I'm going to go on a little mini rant here going into the break. Barack Obama passed Obamacare, which has been devastating the economy. God bless you, Jake. And it's a large tax increase to boot. 16,000 IRS agents. He passed Dodd-Frank Act, which is a great burden on banks, particularly small community banks. Guess what? My dad sold his community bank because he was not going to deal with Dodd-Frank. I mean, but if he pays somebody to make sure they comply with Dodd-Frank, there goes the profit of a small community bank. It's really sad. Now, I'm going to give you some legal 101 here, all right? When Congress passes a law, all right, and they send these laws to the government agencies, you may not realize this, but guess what? The president has complete control over the head of the EPA, Justice, banking, SEC, FCC, you name it, all the alphabet soup agencies. President Obama and his minions can pass regulation after regulation after regulation based on laws passed by Congress. And guess what? Congress doesn't vote on those regulations. Even with a divided Congress, the last 2 years and 4 more years, Barack Obama and the Human Health and Resources, Sebelius, and all, they can just regulate, regulate, regulate. And they are writing countless pages of regulations and regulations and regulations. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, I've given you Capitalism 101, goods and services being purchased, and then somebody manufactures something and they sell it and they buy their raw materials, and it just goes on and on. It's circular. And the economy flows best. It flows when there's the least restrictions. All right? The more regulation slows down the economy. It means less jobs. It means less income on which there's tax to be paid. It is a no-brainer. And we're not talking about, hey, we need regulations to make sure our food is safe. Yes, we do. We need some regulation of Wall Street. Yes, we do. The issue is how much regulation. That's the question. The red tape that it takes to go out there and talk to anybody. Talk to a builder wanting to build a house in any community in the tri-state and let them explain to you what they got to go through to build that house. It's incredible. Ask a doctor. I've not met a doctor yet that supports Obamacare. Ask any doctor what they have to go through relative to getting paid on services rendered and to comply with some kind of law. Unbelievable. My profession, the Bar Association, they just keep adding rules and rules and rules and rules that are meaningless. I mean, I'm talking about meaningless rules. I've advocated this before and I'm going to advocate it again. Do you know if each state and the United States government would just allow companies to be sued, not arbitration, not mediation, would let them be sued for fraud, period? You wouldn't have to worry about anything. Why? Because that would keep them in line or they'd be out of business. Just let everybody, and by the way, is it too much to ask of me and every business in the tri-state? Go out there and hustle, work hard, just don't commit fraud. Is that too much to ask? And if the business community cannot support fraud law, be allowed to be sued for fraud, that ought to tell you something. Man, we don't want to be sued for fraud. Why? Are you kidding me? And like workers' comp, burdens business beyond. Guess what? Businesses don't like workers' comp, and I've never met a guy yet that got hurt on the job that was happy with his workers' comp. We ought to do away with workers' comp. If I got hurt on the job because I just bent over the wrong way, too bad. But you know what? If I got hurt on the job because somebody else did something freaking wrong, I ought to be able to sue. Right? Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, I should be president, and that's why I'm running in 2020. Clear Vision 2020. This is Jay Giles. Have you ever picked up a magazine or turned on a movie and your wife or girlfriend was butt naked and you didn't know it? Can you imagine? This is what happened. Jay Giles is going to tell that story right here. It's never happened to me. I hope it never happens to you. Class X Radio. Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio. I like to see very much human traffic jams at voting polls, and it looks like we are having long lines at voting polls. What do we have as far as traffic out there, Blondie?
You know what? It's pretty quiet actually out there today. A lot of people out of school again, and 71, 75 heading in northbound. You've got the sun in your eyes there, and you're still slow from Buttermilk to the bridge. But I just kind of rolled through a lot of the other cameras, and there really aren't any other issues as far as slow traffic. They're still dealing with the cleanup of the accident on Bridgetown at Ebenezer that had injuries earlier, so it took a little bit longer to clear that out. Other than that, looks like it's good to go. Sunny out too.
All right. Before we get on to some clips for you and some more presidential talk, as we encourage everyone to go out there and vote. And it's very important in Ohio that you vote. I know it's an inconvenience. You're going to have to wait in line, but you're doing God's work here, okay? I got a big announcement to make. It's awesome. I befriended the Schaefer family way back when I was on the other radio station, and they became texting friends. We got J.K. Schaefer from the Bearcats and his uncle and his dad and the whole gang of them.
Bengals now.
And yesterday he signed with the Bengals practice squad, and that's exciting news. You know, J.K. was a hard-hitting, he was a hard-playing linebacker for the UC Bearcats. He got drafted by Jacksonville, or a walk-on, he had a contract at Jacksonville, and I think he actually maybe made it to Tampa. But, you know, this is a perfect place for him, his hometown crowd, and he just needs to keep plugging along. A lot of heart on that kid. And it's a good day. J.K., how cool is that? To play for UC Bearcats and now be on the Bengals team.
Pretty
Team
awesome.
You probably grew up rooting for. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. Let's try to inspire you to get out there and vote a little bit with Homer Simpson. I think, you know what, if you got to think about what you need to do, you know, there's probably no place better to turn than Homer. Although I did not agree with all of that, that's funny stuff, man.
Here, you want to hear a tweet from Tim Tebow?
Yes.
It says, I'm predicting Obama will take an early lead tomorrow, and I guess this was tweeted yesterday, until the Republicans get off work.
Yeah, that's going around everywhere. I've had 20 people send that to me, and I like it every time.
Well, you hadn't talked about it.
You're one of 20 people that have sent it to me.
Damn, I hate that.
And I've been very good about it. I've laughed every time, and I tell you right now, it's worth spreading around.
Yeah, it was good.
Another Bulldog Nation member, Molly, voted recently, or just now, and said that there was a 45-minute wait in line, and that this is an Ohio voter, and it was longer than usual. So I just want to let you know. Here's what Mitt Romney is saying to close out his campaign, where he is being inspirational. And like you need any more enthusiastic reason to vote, here's another one. He's lazy. Let me give you an example. He's so freaking stupid. Can you imagine? Remember what I said. Shouldn't have campaigned, should have stayed in New York and stayed in New Jersey for the final freaking week. America would have said, hey, okay, man. It would have made a big difference. Get this. What if last night, instead of going back home to Chicago to sleep in his bed, the people in New York and New Jersey aren't sleeping in their beds? If I was president, I would have went there. I would have said, it's not right for me to go home and sleep in a bed with my people. These are opportunities for freaking leadership that are unbelievable opportunities. You know what? George Bush, and I couldn't stand him, second worst president we've ever had, at least after 9/11, stepped up to the plate with some leadership. And how about the comparison of Rudy Giuliani, 9/11? He was exhausted. He went to funerals. He did all of that stuff. President Obama, are you kidding me? He is a failure in leadership. And the reason being, folks, is you can carve it, slice it, dice it any way you want. He's a lazy ass. He admitted to the freaking world he was lazy. He likes to golf. He likes to vacation. He likes to campaign. He likes to do everything but his job. And you want to give him 4 more years? You want to give Michelle a free ticket to keep traveling the globe? Are you kidding me, America? We're better than that. We expect more of that from our leaders. Get fired up.
He spent the whole past year doing nothing but campaigning, and towards the end, he should have. There's just no reason he shouldn't have been up there with his campaign party, working and helping all these people.
All right, we dedicate this next song to Mitt Romney. This is America, I Need You on Class X Radio. We're coming back with some superbity. Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio. How about a traffic report before I get rolling again, Blondie?
Well, I'll tell you what, really there's not a whole lot going on out there. They're claiming that that accident is still out on Bridgetown and Ebenezer, so you need to watch for that. And then I was looking at all the cameras, 71, 75, really got the sun in your eyes, and that's the slowest spot I saw on any of the cameras heading out around the Tri-State. Oh wait, look at this, a whole bunch of accidents just popped up. Let's see. Ferguson, north of Glenway, there's an accident there. And Anderson Ferry at Sydney. We'll see what else is out there. Some traffic lights not working, and that is at the intersection of Montgomery Road and LaSantaville. And one more, that is Westchester on the right shoulder, southbound 75 at 275. So I'll take a look at that camera and see what we can see.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, you depend upon me for some original commentary, and I'm going to give it to you. And I'm going to use as an outline the Wall Street Journal's 5 things to watch on election night. All right, number 1 that they say, they comment, exit polls in 2008 indicated that 74% of those who cast ballots were white, and that if the white share votes to drops to 72%, Obama will win. If it goes up to like 76%, Romney will win. And I'm talking about the total number of votes. In other words, if you take all the people that vote, if 76% of those people are white, we're in good shape. And I'm going to tell you something, folks. 2010 was a prelude till tonight. I want to just share this with you, okay? Here is who's voting for Barack Obama. All right? And this is incredible stupidity, and it just goes to show you that racism exists far more in the black community than the white community. 95% of blacks voted for Barack Obama last time, and they're expected to do it again. That is incredible. Their unemployment has doubled under this guy. But they don't care. They don't care. He's the black guy. He's the black guy. Gotta vote for the black guy. I guess they're saying, well, if they're on some kind of dependency, they need those benefits. How about the unions? You know all these unions. I just got a text from a Bulldog Nation member, Lynn, who says that she's a teacher, she's voting for Romney, but her sisters and family members are voting for Obama because they still got a bee in their bonnet over Kasich's bill, which guess what, teacher unions? You won that battle. And if you want to vote for unions over country, you just go right the freaking head. And you just watch all you public sector union employees when every city and every state keeps going bankrupt, the federal government's bankrupt, you're not going to get any pension. And I tell you what, I'm preaching where my actions are. As a quote-unquote plaintiff's criminal defense attorney, I should be all in for Obama for my quote-unquote self-interest. Sorry, can't do it. I would rather have America saved where there's a courthouse I can file a lawsuit because under Obama, the country's going to be done with and there won't be a courthouse to file a lawsuit. You got to think big picture. You got to think America. All right. Wall Street Journal number 2. What's happening in college towns? Ages 18 and 29. Apparently the enthusiasm is way down. Obama still leads by wide margins. All right, just like the black voters. Hello, young kids, you stupid asses. You can't get a job. Where's the jobs under this guy? You graduate with a degree, you can't find a job. And you're going to go vote for Barack Obama? Are you freaking kidding me? Why? He likes green energy. He's black. He's for diversity. He likes gay people. He lets gay people marry. It's the most ridiculous freaking thing in the world. And it just shows you how liberal our college institutions are in teaching kids. By the way, why do I know so much about this? Because I got one. My daughter Erica last night was ranting about American citizens in Israel who have voted. And the only reason why they're voting for Romney is because they want to bomb Iran. Good golly. My daughter Erica represents these nitwits that are going to vote for Barack Obama. By the way, she's going to vote for some female, like libertarian, not libertarian, some Green Party candidate, she said. Well, she's in Kentucky, so we don't care about her vote. All right. What's happening in Virginia? That's number 3 that they talk about. That, you know, Romney really needs to win Virginia. Well, Virginia has been polluted. You know where, there's only one place in America where construction's going strong. Just one place. Virginia. Why? Because of federal government building buildings and buildings and buildings and buildings. Construction boom in Virginia. Scares me to death. However, Virginia, and by the way, Virginia's a weird state. I've actually tried a case in Virginia. Even their law is a little different. It's kind of shocked me, because this is the home of Jefferson, right? Good thing, Western Virginia, got a little bit of coal country going there. Let's hope Romney wins Virginia. What's happening in key counties of Ohio? Well, let me tell you something, Wall Street Journal. If the WKRC poll, where it's 65-35 Romney, 11,000 people called in. And based upon the reports that I'm getting from people that are voting, these long lines and everything else, the weather's good out there, it's bad news. It is bad news for Obama. Why? People turn out in huge numbers. If they're happy with what they got, they don't need to go vote. We got our guy there already. People vote to get somebody in or throw somebody out. And you know what? The reason why the weather is such critical, thank God, thank you. It's all prayer, thanksgiving to God. Because of this. A lot of people aren't going to go stand in a long freaking line if it's cold and it's rainy and it's snowy. But if the weather's nice like it is today, they're going to do it. So I can report right now to the Wall Street Journal and the rest of America, it's looking good right now for Romney. He's going to win big, Southwest Ohio. And that, you know what, Romney, I mean, Obama actually won Hamilton County last year, or last time, 2008. That's not going to happen. But he needs to keep it close. He's always got to keep it close. No, we need to rack up huge margins to make up for some of the Union turf in Cleveland. So there's my analysis on the Wall Street Journal. I crack up these people that cannot vote for America. They vote for their own selfish interests. When we come back, more Radio Suburbity, and we got a clip of Clint Eastwood firing Barack Obama. This is Bob Seger in Kathmandu, where we all might want to go to, like Alec Baldwin threatened, if Obama wins. Class X Radio. Obama, Mr. Cigarette Man. Mitt Romney obviously has the right stamina. And it is so symbolic that Obama is done. He's going to be back in Chicago playing some hoops. And Romney is going to keep on working and campaigning. And wouldn't it be hilarious if, like, Romney only wins because he wins Philadelphia, or he wins Pennsylvania and Ohio by 1,000 votes, and he campaigned in both those places today, and that made the difference why Obama was playing hoops. Because as he admitted, I can tell you right now, I can give you like 1,000 single reasons you shouldn't vote for Barack Obama. One is this: he admitted he's got a lazy streak. America, the presidency of the United States, is the most important job in the world, and you want a lazy ass who admits he's a lazy ass and proves he's a lazy ass in the position. I also want to just congratulate, we'll give Oracle status to Bill Spry, the owner of the radio station, who voted. He voted.
Oh. I was waiting for something.
Isn't that enough?
Voted
for
That's it.
Sorry.
Romney.
Traffic report, please, before I get rolling again. The text messenger coming in there enjoying my rant, so I'm going to keep them going.
Well, we don't want to slow that down right now. Just looking at the camera, Seth on 75, an accident at 275. It's off on the shoulder, not causing a problem. Anderson Ferry at Sydney, Kemper at William Howard Taft, and Ferguson just north of Glenway. Those are the accidents. Just a little slow still, 71, 75. From around Kyle's on down to the bridge. That's it. Back to your rants.
All right. Well, we got a really special song coming up. I just want to report that. So let me see what time it is. At about 8:41 or 42, which is in 6 minutes, we're going to dedicate this song on behalf of Bulldog Nation, Class X radio listeners, and the American people. We're going to dedicate this. If you've not heard, I mentioned this early in the show, Romney's internal polls show him leading in Ohio and tied in Wisconsin and in Pennsylvania. And he's going to Pittsburgh today, Cleveland today, and he's going to be on Willie this afternoon. Now, let me tell you something if you did not know this, which is weird, but it's a very positive for Romney. First off, in the polling numbers, and they try to make adjustments for this, but this is kind of funny when you think about it. Do you know which party pollsters have the hardest time reaching by phone to do the poll? Republicans. Now, I want to say something. It's like, well, because they're all at work. And maybe that's but it's kind of funny. So, any poll that shows them dead even, well, guess what? It's not all that accurate because you've got this small percentage that has to be adjusted because they can't reach Republicans. Number two, independents are for Romney by like 7 or 8 points. If that holds, he'll win. Also, this is very significant. Undecided voters, and there's not many, folks, 3 to 5% undecided voters. The pollsters will tell you, you talk to Karl Rove, you talk to Dick Morris, you talk to any of them, they will tell you that the undecideds break in a significant manner to the challenger. So if the race is tied in Ohio and Michigan and Wisconsin and Pennsylvania, and there's only a small percentage, even though it's small, 3 to 5% of undecideds, they will break to the challenger, Romney, and that'll put him over the top. In addition to that, the Republicans are known for this, and it's just a reality. They outperform the poll. In other words, the Republicans, when they come out to vote, based on the vote turnout, they turn out in a larger margin. And everybody talks about this machine that's been working for 40. By the way, doesn't it make you sick that Obama has had campaign staff in Ohio for 4 years? But let me tell you something. You cannot, no matter what you do, okay, as an Obama supporter, campaign operative, if the people aren't with you like they were 4 years ago, no voter turnout mechanism, quote-unquote machine, is going to save you. Why? Because they're not for you. They're not with you. They have to be with you for you to turn them out. People forget that. And I think that's what's going to happen in Ohio, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and a lot of these swing states, but in particular in Ohio. Guess what? They can have the greatest turnout machine ever. Well, guess what? The Republicans do too. But the Hamilton County voters that gave Obama a victory in Hamilton County last time, they're not there this time. And I can tell you right now about Hamilton County. I know something about Hamilton County. I may live in Kentucky, but I get out and about. You know, I got a law office in Hamilton County. I go all over the place in Hamilton County. Been on the radio now for 5 or 6 years. I get out socially to Hamilton County. I know Hamilton County. You know what? You've got downtown, you got over the Rhine, you got Bond Hill, Avondale, you got all these places that are going to vote for Barack Obama. But what do you think those huge subdivisions up there in Western Hills, where they're going to vote? Liberty Township. You know, you go all across these subdivisions and these big bedroom communities in Hamilton County. I'm sorry, folks. They're not going to be. Look at all the Catholic churches and all the parishes throughout the county. They're not going to be for Barack Obama by percentage. By percentage. And did you hear about this? It's so bad up there in New York and New Jersey that there's tent cities forming and they're voting for their own leaders and whatnot. This is going to be another scandal. Whether Barack Obama is reelected or not, he's going to have to face the music in Libya, and he's going to have to face the music in on this FEMA and everything going on in New York and New Jersey and his handling of it. It's not pretty. It's not good. And I think he's kind of defeatist. You know, He's been flying around. He's got all his former supporters like Reggie Love, his personal trainer with him and everything else. It's like a nostalgia tour. Like, this is my last campaign, win or lose. I almost think Barack Obama hopes he freaking loses. I really do, in a way.
You kind of wonder.
I mean, no, he wants the power, but he's also, here's what it is. He wants to keep the position so he can have all the bells and whistles, but if he loses, it's kind of like, well, I'm okay if I lose too.
You kind of still get the bells and whistles after, too.
All right, when we come back, we're going to fire Barack Obama. And, hey, Barack, here's a big, loud message from the airways of Class X Radio to you. Twisted Sister. Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio. Let's give them their last traffic report on Election Day.
Okay, well, there's some accidents out there. Traffic's actually pretty light, but there's an accident on Blue Rock at Coleraine, Wolf Angel at State, Beachmont. I say it all the time, don't I? Okay, thank you. Let's see. Beachmont at Berkshire, Ebenezer at Work, and that is it as far as the accidents go. Really, I mean, the traffic's just light. A lot of people out of school today, voting, doing, bankers' holidays. I don't know.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, this is my final opportunity to address you before the votes are counted tonight, and I will be back here tomorrow at 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., hopefully analyzing a Romney victory. I just want to say this. I thought I would never, ever, ever, ever see the day when nearly 50% of the American people would be willing to give 4 more years to a complete failure as a president solely because of what they perceive as their little pet issues, whether it's green energy, whether it is just pure liberalism, gay marriage. How about this? Kill the coal industry. I can't fathom a president of the United States that publicly says I'm lazy, publicly says he wants to bankrupt the coal industry, and you want to give him 4 more years. Now let's go all the way back. I think this is important to go back. George Bush, and I said this in that phrase that I hate, real time. George Bush was a terrible president, both on the domestic side and in foreign affairs. The Iraqi War, the Afghanistan War, disasters. And he was asleep at the switch during the double swap derivatives at the end of the game. And we saw everything just collapse in his lap in October. All right? Now, Barack Obama soars past Hillary Clinton thanks to Oprah Winfrey, who cannot be seen or heard from now because Michelle Obama and Valerie Jarrett pooped all over her after Obama won. And the Republicans had this guy named John McCain, who was a terrible candidate, no organization, couldn't draw a crowd of 200 people. And the price that we have paid, and one of the reasons why I hate George Bush so much, is because he gave us Barack Obama. If George Bush wasn't such a lousy president, we would have never gotten Barack Obama. So now we've had incompetence Bush, incompetence Obama 4 years. Man, we can't survive 4 more years of trillion-dollar budget deficit and keep racking up trillions and trillions of debt. I'm a student of history. Everybody knows this. Athens, once great, fell. Rome, once great, fell. The British Empire, once great, fell. Imperial Japan, once great, fell. Tsarist Russia, once great, fell. America, folks, does not survive based upon automatic pilot. It does not survive just because. When we created this wonderful republic, John Adams warned that the only way to sustain the republic is through a vigilant and educated people. Vigilant, educated people that paid attention. Now, with all due respect to the younger Americans that loved Barack Obama in 2008, I'm sorry, my daughter doesn't know jack compared to me. Okay? And they get so misguided with the TMZ, reality TV, the MTV, the rap radio, the rap music, the culture of today, the pop culture of today, so forth and so on. They don't have a clue about the republic. There's exceptions to the rule. I'm talking about the majority. And your average working guy, God love him, he's trying to pay bills, avoid foreclosure, avoid repossession. He doesn't have time to pay attention. But you know what? I've been voting since Carter, Reagan, and 80. That was my first vote. So it's been over 30 years. And people talk about, oh, this is a big election, what's going to happen, I think about Bush, Gore, Kerry, Bush. I think all these different scenarios, what would have happened. Well, I want to tell you right now. Barack Obama has the American credit downgraded. He is racking up debt, debt, debt. The world is in chaos, and he wants to cut the military. This guy, and it isn't even close, is the worst president in the history of this country. It's the facts, not some liberal policy. And you Ohio voters have to save us. The good Ohio voters, the Christian Ohio voters that care about gay marriage being an issue, the entrepreneurs in Ohio, the businessmen and women in Ohio, the good non-union workers in Ohio, the independent thinking people in Ohio, the Tea Party voters in Ohio, the Chick-fil-A voters in Ohio, the Catholic votes in Ohio. You got to save us from these misguided, intellectually blind Obama followers. Because if you don't, and I don't care what anybody says, I'm not being grandiose, it is a fact, Jack. You re-elect Obama, who's lazy, not worried about a re-election, and he's got all the powers of commander-in-chief, and he still has a Democrat Senate, and he's got all these government agencies that he can regulate the hell out of us. We're done. We're done. We're not done immediately, but we're done. That's what's at stake. And I'm serious as a heart attack, as the cliche goes. You got to get out there and you got to vote for Romney. Not Gary Johnson, Romney. And you know what? If we win this thing by 1,000 votes, there's 1 million people that can take credit for it. And let's hope that's what happens, at least. Mitt Romney is a good man. He's right on the issues, and his view of America is not the view of Barack Obama, but the view of us. To put you in a good mood as you go out and vote, as always, I give you George Harrison, What is Life? What is life without America for us, folks? You want to be Greece? You want to be Spain? Hell no. Every dog has their day. Today, shall it be Romney's on Class X Radio.